Good morning, students. We will talk about structural organization of animals in morphology and anatomy of cockroach. And today we will talk about abdomen of cockroach. So, abdomen is the largest and broadest part of the body behind the thorax in cockroach. Okay, and it is relatively more flattened and softened, and it consists of 10 segments in both male and female. It bears abdominal sclerities, abdominal appendages, stick glands, and aperture. Okay, so first, abdominal sclerities. A typical abdominal sclerity is covered by four sclerities: a dorsal tertium and ventral sternum, and two lateral pleura. And the abdomen is both male and female. Cockroach consists of 10 segments. In female, the seventh sternum is boat shaped, and together with the eighth and ninth sterna from a genital pouch, which is divided into genital chamber in front and vestibulum in behind. Okay, and abdominal appendages. The following appendages are present in the posterior end of the abdomen: anal cerci and anal stys and gonoprophysis. Okay, and there are two joint outgrowth which are arising from 10th tergum. Anal cerci are long and thick structure found on both male and female cockroach, and anal stys are paired, small, thin, unjoined outgrowth projecting backwardly from the sides of ninth sternum of male cockroach only. Okay, and gonoprophysis. In both male and female cockroaches, genital aperture is surrounded by some solarity called gonoprophysis. And stick glands. There are two stick glands are present between the fifth and sixth abdominal tertia. These glands produce a secretion that gives a characteristic foul smell. And fourth one is aperture. There are three types of aperture are present on abdomen: anus, genital aperture, and abdominal spiracles. And anus is meant for expanding out the waste matter from the posterior most part of the alimentary canal. And genital aperture is found below anus in male, and female genital aperture opens into the genital chamber. And abdominal spiracles, 8 pairs of abdominal spiracles are present. The first pair is dorsal in position and lies on the lateral margins of the first abdominal tertium, and remaining abdominal spiracles lies on both sides of their corresponding segments on the pleura between the tertia and sterna. Okay. And then we will talk about digestive system of cockroach. So as we know, cockroach is an omnivorous insect belonging to phylum Arthropoda. और हमने पहले के लेक्चर में पढ़ा था कि ये अंधेरे नम स्थान पर रहता है और हर तरह के खाने को ये खा सकता है. एंड इट्स डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ टू पार्ट्स: एलिमेंट्री कैनाल and digestive glands. Alimentary canal and digestive glands. Okay, so we will first talk about alimentary canal. It is started from mouth and goes up to anus. It is 6 to 7 centimeter long. Alimentary canal is divided into 3 parts. First part is foregut. It is interior 1/3 part of alimentary canal, and it is divided into 5 parts. First is buccal cavity. A small buccal cavity is present just below the mouth, and then goes to pharynx. It is last part of the buccal cavity which opens into esophagus. ये बकल कैविटी यहाँ पर माउथ के पास, उसके जस्ट पीछे का भाग फेरिंग्स एंड उसके पीछे का भाग जो है वो ईसोफेगस होगा, है ना. अ थिक स्प्रिंक्टर मसल्स इज प्रेजेंट एज इट्स लास्ट पार्ट दैट कंट्रोल ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग ऑफ इट्स एंट्रेंस. एंड देन ईसोफेगस, it is situated below pharynx, okay, and it goes through neck and become wider in thorax and open into a large basket like crop. It is a crop, and its inner wall is highly folded, and then crop, it is situated below esophagus. Its wall is thin, muscular, folded and highly elastic. It contains amylase, chitinase and cellulase enzymes that digest carbohydrate, and it also contains invertase, maltase, lactase, trypsins, protease, peptidase and lipase. These are digestive enzymes, okay. Then crop goes to gizzard. It is situated at the last part of crop in the form of conical bag like structure, and its inner wall is thick and consists of circular muscle layer. Food is grinded here. Its wall contains 6 longitudinal folds. The cuticle of these folds become thicker to form 6 teeth-like structure in gizzard. The fold of posterior part of gizzard become wider to form many pads containing CT. Okay, and the posterior part of gizzard is embedded in midgut in the form of a long and narrow tube. This tube is called stomodial wall. The wall of longitudinal clefts contain secondary folds that form a stennier to filter grinded food. Okay, यहाँ पर सबसे पहले माउथ से स्टार्ट करेंगे. माउथ कैविटी, देन फेरिंग्स, देन इसोफिगस, देन क्रॉप एंड देन गिजार्ड. यहाँ तक जो है वो फूड जो भी किया जाता है इनके मसल्स के कंस्ट्रक्शन से फूड जो है वो ग्राइंड होता है, खास करके गिजार्ड में. इसके लिए इसमें 6 प्लेट्स लाइक स्ट्रक्चर इसका इंटरनल भाग में होता है, और ये जो है वो फूड को ग्राइंड करता है. एंड 6 फिंगर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर यहाँ पर हम देख रहे हैं. इट इज़ कॉल्ड सीटी. It is a digestive glands which secretes various types of digestive juices, and ये जो digestive juice बनाते हैं इसको गिजार्ड में फूड के साथ मिक्स कर देते हैं. and then start midgut or mesenteron. It is the medium part of the alimentary canal, which is present in the form of a narrow and soft tube like this, and its anterior part is called cardia. Okay, and it surrounds stomodial walls. The anterior part contains 7 to 8 thin long tubular process which is called hepatic ceca. Here you see इट इज कॉल्ड हिपैटिक सिका। ओके, यहाँ पर 6 to 8 प्रोजेक्शन हम देख पा रहे हैं, प्रोसेस देख पा रहे हैं, ट्यूब लॉन्ग ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर, एंड इट इज कॉल्ड हिपैटिक सिका। द इनर वॉल ऑफ द mesenteron is formed of columnar epithelial tissues which contain many small villi like projection. A thin layer of peritropic membrane lies in the inner wall, and this membrane project the wall of mesenteron from friction of food. Okay, यहाँ and there are 80 to 60 yellow colored minute tubular structure are present on the posterior part of the midgut. These structures are called Malpighian tubes. Actually it is excretory organ of cockroach. And then hindgut, it is situated between posterior part of the mesenteron and anus, and it is relatively wider. The epithelium of its inner wall is covered by cuticle, and hindgut is made up of some 3 part divided into 4 part: ileum, colon, it is ileum and it is colon, and then rectum, and finally anus. Okay, some digestive glands are found in the digestive system of cockroach. Salivary glands, here you see complex salivary gland is found in cockroach. दोनों तरफ इसके है ना salivary gland जो है वो हम देख पा रहे हैं, and second one is the hepatic cica between gizzard and midgut. यहाँ पर 6 to 8 प्रोजेक्शन, लॉन्ग प्रोजेक्शन हम देख पा रहे हैं, ये कहलाता है हिपैटिक सिका। एंड यहाँ पर मिडगट लाइनिंग के पास हम देख पा रहे हैं ये मैलपिगियन ट्यूब्यूल्स। ओके, and as we know cockroach is an omnivorous insect, and it can eat all types of organic matter like bread, paper, vegetables, cloth, meat, and spoiled food. It also eat dead bodies of other cockroaches and other insects. Cockroach prefers food rich with starch and sugar. And then we will discuss about the blood circulatory system or blood vascular system of cockroach. In cockroach, blood circulatory system is open type, and it consists of the heart, blood vessels called aorta, and hemocoel. कॉकरोच में जो ब्लड वास्कुलर सिस्टम होता है वो ओपन टाइप का होता है, पूरे बॉडी में ये ब्लड जो है वो सर्कुलेट होता है, एंड द ब्लड इज कॉल्ड हीमोलिम्फ बिकॉज द हीमोग्लोबिन इज absent in their blood, and hemolymph is present in their blood. And when we when we study about function of blood, it kept the tissue moist, and it transport digestive food to various part of the body, and it also transport nitrogenous wastage to the excretory organ. Okay, and when we discuss about hemocoel, जब पूरे बॉडी में फ्लूइड जो है वो ओपनली फ्लो होता है, ट्रांसपोर्ट होता है, तो ऐसे बॉडी की कैविटी को हीमोसील कहा जाता है। एंड द बॉडी कैविटी ऑफ कॉकरोच इज़ फिल्ड विथ हीमोलिम्फ, एंड यहाँ पर चूँकि इनका जो फ्लूइड है पूरे बॉडी में ट्रांसपोर्ट हो रहा है, इसमें हीमोग्लोबिन नहीं है, सो इनका जो ब्लड है उसमें लिम्फ और ब्लड दोनों ही मिक्स होते हैं, सो इट इज़ कॉल्ड हीमोलिम्फ। The body cavity of cockroach is filled with hemolymph and therefore it is called to be as hemocoel. In abdominal and thoracic region, it is divided by two horizontal partition called diaphragm into three large spaces. यहाँ पर हम ये देख पा रहे हैं 3 पार्ट में इसका बॉडी का जो कैविटी है ये डिवाइड है. डॉर्सल और पेरिफेरल साइनस, इट इज़ प्रेजेंट ऑन डॉर्सल साइड बिलो द टर्जा एंड इनक्लोज द हार्ट. And middle or perivisceral sinus, it is largest in size which enclose most of viscera. And ventral or perineural sinus, it lies on ventral side above the sterna which enclose the nerve cord. It is a nerve cord. Okay. And when we talk about heart and pericardium, here we show the heart of cockroach is long, narrow, tubular and contractile structure. It is a heart. It is 13 pair of heart, and it is the only definite vessels in the vascular system. It lies in a pericardial sinus dorsally in the midline, just under the tergal plates of thorax and abdomen, and it is divided into two clear parts, a thicker heart and extend through the abdomen and most of the thorax, and a small narrow tubular anterior aorta. It is a anterior aorta which extend into the head. यहाँ पर हेड में जाता है. ओके. एंड द हार्ट इज फॉर्म्ड ऑफ 13 चैम्बर, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 13, which are pulsatile, and each chamber except the posterior one communities by a valvular opening with the one in front of it. लास्ट वाले को छोड़ दें तो सभी जो है इसमें अपने सामने वाले हार्ट चैम्बर में ओपन होता है ना. एंड ब्लड फ्रॉम द पेरिकार्डियल साइनस इंटर्स द हार्ट थ्रू द ओस्टिया. हर एक हार्ट में दोनों तरफ अपर्चर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर होता है विच इज़ कॉल्ड ओस्टिया. तो ब्लड जो है वो साइनस से ओस्टिया के थ्रू हार्ट चैम्बर में जाता है. ओके. ब्लड फ्रॉम द पेरिकार्डियल साइनस इंटर द हार्ट थ्रू द ओस्टिया फ्लोस इन फ्रोस्ट एंड इट पम्प्स आउट इनटू द हेड. और ये आगे की ओर बढ़ते जाता है और कहाँ जाता है? हेड में पंप कर दिया जाता है. हेड साइनस थ्रू द टर्मिनली open anterior aorta. From here it circulate into related sinuses of the body and hemocoel. फिर यहाँ से ये साइनोसस और हीमोसील ये बॉडी के इसमें चले जाता है ऑन इट्स वे टू हार्ट अगेन, और फिर से ये हार्ट में भेजा जाता है. ओके. तो आज के लिए हम इतना ही पढ़ते हैं एंड नेक्स्ट डे जो है वो हम इसके आगे का स्टडी करेंगे. और तब तक के लिए गुड बाय एंड टेक केयर.